The way I read Genesis, Cain was marked. The way I read Genesis, Cain was marked. Therefore, I believe in white supremacy. Therefore, I believe in white supremacy.
Anyone has never seen a bad sunburn before, this is what it looks like about 4 days after, and this is what can happen.
Tonight, a federal investigation is underway into the possible dangers of spray-on sunscreen. It is a direct result of a freak accident in Massachusetts we told you about last weekend, in which a man claims the sunscreen he was wearing caught fire while he was standing in front of his grill. Eyewitness News reporter Susan Hogan joins us now live with the latest on this news alert.
The FDA confirms it is investigating this man's claims that he was badly burned after applying spray-on sunscreen. I should warn you, the video you're about to see is graphic. It took seconds.
All of a sudden, just lit up on fire everywhere.
Brett Sigworth says he had just applied Banana Boat sprayable sunscreen while standing in front of his barbecue grill before his body was engulfed in flames.
Sprayed on the spray-on sunscreen, then rubbed it on for a few seconds. And I walked over to my grill and took one of the holders to move some of the charcoal briquettes around, and all of a sudden it just went up my arm.
It was this Banana Boat Sport aerosol sunscreen that Brett says caught fire, not in the can, but all over his body.
Just the way it burned, it went wherever the sunblock went, that's where it burned.
Now the FDA says it is investigating Brett's claims. In a statement, the FDA says it is possible for sunscreen to be flammable once it's applied to the skin because some sunscreen products are alcohol-based. Banana Boat released this statement. We will begin a prompt investigation as we continue just to deliver products of the highest quality to our consumers. There are warnings on the sunscreen bottle that say flammable, don't use near heat, flame, or while burning, but it says nothing about once it's applied.
No warning that says this product's flammable when applied to your skin or for some period of time after being on your skin.
Now Banana Boat, it says it's unaware of any incidents like this happening before. I'm Susan Hogan, Eyewitness News.
Go.
Leviticus chapter 13. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, When a man shall have in the skin of his flesh arising a scab or bright spot, or it be in the skin of his flesh like the plague of leprosy, then he shall be brought unto Aaron the priest, or unto one of his sons the priest, and the priest shall look on the plague in the skin of the flesh. And when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague is sight be deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a plague of leprosy. And the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean. All praises and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. The double honors to the apostles and elders of Yasharallah. The salutation to the Akim throughout the four corners of the earth, preaching his truth in sincerity and keeping the faith of Yahweh Shai and the gospel. This is Hawa Ya'Allah. Just going into a lesson, just concerning these devils, these Edomites, right? You so-called white people, all right? Basically, just letting you know, that y'all are basically lepers, okay? And you're liars too, deceivers. And, basically, this is the thing about y'all is that, see, you get all messed up when you get called out through the spirit of the word, all right? But you are the one who's basically for the past, few hundred years has basically made it a bad thing, right, to have melanin in your skin, all right? And now you're being called out for the lack of melanin and you got a problem. So basically this lesson is just to expose you damn devils, all right, for the lies that you basically push out here on what a leper is, okay? And basically, you devils are being searched out at this point. That's the reason why y'all are getting upset, all right? That's why your elites are trying to basically censor the word. That's the reason why your kingdom is coming down, all right? Because your whole kingdom, okay, your queendom really has been built on nothing but lies, all right, which is not a sure foundation and is being torn down, all right, by the words of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai through his prophets. Okay, so we're going to go into just a few different definitions and go backtrack into the beginning, all right, of the taking away of the word leprosy and what it really meant, okay? So just going to go into this for the sake of edification. All right, the word there is Tazarayath, all right, which there, the word there is leprosy in people, malignant skin disease, okay? And what's that malignant skin disease? That lack of pigmentation, okay? That's the reason why you devils get, sunburn, right? All other nations, they can get out there in the sun without sunscreen and they just get darker because they have melanin. But for some reason, you damn devils, all right, you step out in the sun and you burn, all right? Your skin starts to peel. Now, going back to the origin, all right, of you devils, your forefather is Esau, okay? And this is basically what it was, written, going back into Genesis 25, verse 25, and the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau, right, which is wasted away is he, okay? And you came out red because there's that lack of pigmentation, that blood was showing forth through your skin, okay? And that is part of the signs of leprosy, the lack of pigmentation. And underneath that skin is blood. And that's why you came out red. That's why your nation is known as the Edomites, which is basically the red people. And another thing with you devils is that y'all are known to do something called blushing, okay? And this is a known thing. If you ask anybody out there which race of people or so-called race of people are known to blush, it's you so-called white people, okay? You Edomites, the red people, right? So going into the word blush, we're gonna go ahead and read what it says. It says blush, a look, a glance, a gleaming blush, as reddening of the face, all right, from the 1590s, meaning a rosy color, okay? That's you so-called white people, okay? The blood showing forth through your skin. Blush, mid-14th century, blushkin, bliskin, probably from Old English, bliskin, blush, become red, glow, akin to blisse, torch. You go further down towards the bottom, it says, for vowel evolution, see bury, earliest recorded senses were to shine brightly, to look, stare, sense of turn red in the face. Oh, and even further, with shame, okay? Because it's a shame to have leprosy, all right? And now in your upside down society that you set, your upside down world that you set up, you actually have made it to where it's looked highly upon to be a leprous demon, okay? It's showing you that this is something that is actually a shameful thing to look like this, okay? All right, so we're going to go into just, the etymology of the word leprosy and see how y'all devils changed this, all right? Because y'all were ashamed, all right? You demons were ashamed. And we're going to get into some of these words and really show you, how this links up with the wickedness of you damn devils, all right? So leprosy, right? 1530s, from leprous, see leper, first used in the Cor Verdal Bible, where it renders Hebrew kara'ath, which apparently was comprehensive term for skin diseases, okay? What skin disease? A skin disease was a lack of pigmentation, all right? Basically, going back into, when even Moses had put his hand in his bosom, all right, and it basically lost pigmentation, all right? Showing you that Moses had to be a so-called black man, all right? But you damn devils, you've made him a leprous demon in a lot of your movies, all right? And a lot of your different pictures that you have, your depictions, all right? But again, we're showing you again that you are the oddball on the earth, all right? And it says here, the reason why it says, because of pejorative associations, the use of the word in medical context has been banned by the World Health Organization. Right? And the World Health Organization was started around 1948 after World War II. Y'all wanted to take away the meaning of these different words to show what it really meant is that you are a leprous people. Okay? You are people who lack pigmentation. All right? And you tried to basically throw different terms and words on it and change it with your newspeak, thinking that you're going to be able to cover this up. But guess what? It's being exposed that you are nothing but liars. All right? Now, what did they do? They replaced this as replaced by Hansen's disease, right, named by Norwegian physician Gerard Hendrik Maurer Hansen, right, who discovered in 1871 discovered the valculus that causes it, which is a damn lie. He didn't discover nothing, all right? Basically, all he did was just do his research to find a way that he could basically throw away that term, use that term in another way, okay, which we're going to get into. All right, but first kind of want to go into that word. It says pejorative associations, okay? When you go into the word for pejorative, it says depreciative, disparaging, all right? Now, who was that term on? You so-called white people, right? Because everywhere any group of people saw you, they were taken aback by the fact that you lacked pigmentation. Every person that saw you when you went around conquering, they called you names. And you devils know it, because we know that you devils, you study languages, all right? You study languages and you realize what these other nations were calling you. Back before you had sunscreen, when you would get out there in the sun, you would burn up and they'd make fun of your ass. You devils are weak. It's going to be a shame when the kingdom gets set up. It's going to be a shame to have that leprous skin, all right? It says to make worse, right? Worse. Downward, to the ground, to walk, stumble, impair, to worsen, all right? So y'all were basically looked down upon, okay? Disparage, let's go into the word disparage, all right? Degrade socially, and that's what happened when the Most High smote you with that leprosy. It degraded you socially among all nations. You were looked down upon among all nations, especially in the ancient world. Now in this backwards world that we're in, you're looked highly upon with this leprosy, all right? And we're going to get into the hair as well, all right? That blonde hair, all right? That you tried to basically use the word blonde, which that just means yellow in the French, all right? And we're going to get into that as well, showing you that that's also leprosy, all right? So degrade socially, reduce in rank, okay? You're at the bottom, that's where you're gonna get back to. Degrade, yeah, you're gonna be degraded once again, okay? After you're brought down low. Devalued, that's exactly what you're gonna be. You're gonna be devalued, you're gonna be at the very bottom. And depreciated, you're not worth shit, you're not worth anything, okay? See here also, when you go further down, sense of belittle. And that's what you were belittled. And that's why you're getting belittled again right now. We don't give a damn what you say. That's why y'all was scoffing. You had some of you damn Edomites getting on that video showing that little damn devil, all right, that was crying over her damn leprosy because she was getting burnt out when she gets in the sun. That's good for her. And that when this kingdom is set up, ain't gonna be no damn copper tone sunscreen for your ass. You're gonna be out there in the field, all right, with no hat on, all right? And you're gonna be out there getting sunburned. You're gonna have boils in your skin, all right? You're gonna be looking like a damn as red as you wanna be, as red as we're gonna make you. All right, so going back into Leviticus, the 13th chapter, I'm just gonna kind of read further down. I mean, pretty much it just puts the whole book on you devils, man, on your whole condition, all right? Showing you how you're just people that should be just set aside outside the camp, all right? You shouldn't even be around other nations, okay? And this is the thing. So y'all are lepers, right? And y'all are basically nothing more than so-called clean lepers because your whole skin is like that, okay? But it's still an embarrassment, which we're going to get into later on in this lesson. All right, Leviticus 13:13, then the priest shall consider, and behold, if the leprosy have covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce him clean that hath the plague. It is all turned white, he is clean. But when the raw flesh appeareth in him, he shall be unclean. And that's what happens. When y'all get out in the sun, y'all become unclean again because that raw flesh starts to appear. You start to get the boils in your skin, you start to peel, and then you become unclean all over again. And even you devils know that because you see it. You see the videos of when y'all out there without that sunscreen and y'all start peeling and like a damn snake that you are. You start shedding like the snake that you are as a damn nation. You know you become unclean. You know that nobody should be around your ass. Just disgusting, filthy, okay? Smelling like damn pig, right? Just disgusting. That's the reason why when you came out, and when your forefather Esau came out, all right, he was basically had no pigmentation, all right, all over his skin, but he was a clean leper. That's the reason why he was still allowed to be around his mom and his dad and his brother, all right, because his whole skin was like that, all right. But if he went out into the sun and he came back from hunting, if he had that raw flesh appearing, his ass had to get put outside. Okay, that's why he spent a lot of his time outside too. That's why he was an outdoorsman. All right, no one wanted to be around his ass. No one wanted to dwell in tents with him full time. All right, so when you go further down, you know we're gonna go into this blonde hair as well. Okay, the 30th verse. Then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a thin yellow hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. See that? So that blonde hair, that yellow hair, that's unclean. But you damn devils that turned the world upside down, and you promoted that in society. You promoted that all over the world, that having that piss-colored, yellow, unclean hair as being some kind of a mark of beauty, when it's a mark of disgrace, all right? It's a mark of disparage. All right, it's a devaluation. It's a genetic defect. It's something that should not be looked highly upon. And even you devils know it, especially your elites. They know that. That's why they have to promote the exact opposite of what the word says. All right, so we're going to go into, just the beginning of these lies, all right, of you changing the word of leprosy, because you damn devils come on the comic boards talking like you know shit, but you don't know nothing, all right? We're better than you. We have the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua that gives us the wisdom of these things to search you damn devils out. And there's nothing you can do about it because it's been proven again and again that your lies are continually being exposed day by day, and that's why you hurt. That's why you're in the comment boards. That's the reason why you're upset that this truth is coming out, because you know it's condemning you. You don't jump on them Black Unconsciousness videos. You don't jump on their videos because you know they aren't talking about nothing. But you're jumping on our stuff because you know this is the truth, and the truth hurts. Right? So going back to this devil, Gerard Anwar Hansen, all right, basically changed the definition of leprosy to mean something else. Okay? Now, when you go into it, he was trying to do a study on leprosy, trying to find out the origin of it, and then basically tried to change what it really meant. But when you go further down, you just read on the second paragraph, it says leprosy was regarded as a largely hereditary or otherwise miasmic in origin. Okay, now let's go into that word miasmic, okay? Because this is letting you know this is hereditary, meaning this is something that is passed down through your genes, okay? Which is basically what happened going back first with Cain. All the descendants of Cain before the flood, they had that leprosy, okay? And then when you go to Esau, Esau passed down that leprosy to his descendants, because this is a genetic actual defect that is passed down. It's not just one generation, okay? Now when you go into the word for miasma, it says here, noxious vapors, a stain, pollution, defilement, taint of guilt, okay? A taint of guilt. That's what your leprosy is. It's a taint of guilt. Okay, of guilt of what? Going back to when you were Cain and you slew, all right, righteous Abel, the Most High put that taint of guilt on you. That was a mark for you. When you go further down, it says here that to stain, soil, defile, stain, a mark. Okay? All right, so speaking of mark, now we're going to go into this, okay? A little bit more. Okay? So when you go into the word for mark, we're going to kind of go further into the origin of you damn devils, all right, and your leprosy. Genesis 4:15, and Yahweh said unto him, therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. All right, and that's the reason why anytime a so-called white man gets killed, they got to go out there and they got to go overboard on their revenge. All right? Because the Most High set it up that way, that's how y'all were going to rule. This is what was going to happen. That's why if a Jake goes out here and does something to one of you damn devils, you go take it to the extreme. All right? If Ishmael does something to you devils, if Ishmael is able to kill a couple of you Edomite soldiers out there, you want to go back into town and massacre a whole village. Right? And Yahweh set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. Okay? Now let's see what that word mark is. Because you damn devils try to say that the mark of Cain is actually having dark skin, when the vast majority of the world has dark skin. And it's been proven that melanin is actually beneficial to you in all ways. It allows you to absorb vitamin D from the sun. It basically protects your skin, all right, from different elements, especially from the UV rays. Okay, you're aged. You don't age like a damn left out orange. I mean, you damn devils, you wrinkle up so quick. I seen an Edomite I seen at the gym years back. She was probably like in her early 20s. Now she's like in her mid 20s. She already looks like she's 40 years old. Just wrinkled up. Just like you can't even tell that was the same person. This within 4 or 5 years, she just basically turns into a damn old hag. You damn devils are just disgusting. All right? That's why you age terribly. As if that's some kind of a good thing to have no pigmentation. You damn devils, man. All right, so let's see what this word for mark is. Word mark there is a wath. Okay, and it says a sign, signal, a distinguishing mark. A distinguishing mark. What is a distinguishing mark? Meaning you're distinguished from everybody else. The Most High put a mark to distinguish you from everybody else. That's why you are the oddball out of all nations. You just are you're just the oddball, but you made it seem as if being a leper is normal and everybody else is abnormal. All right, so you see here in the Strong's definition, all right, going further, it says probably from the H22.5 in the sense of appearing, a signal, literally or figuratively, as a flag, beacon, monument, omen, prodigy, evidence. Okay, this is evidence of who you are. Okay, a mark. So a sign, a token. This is just basically showing that you are who you really are. You are descendants of Cain, who now are descendants of Esau. And you just got to deal with it. Your time is coming up. This is basically, you've been called out now. Everybody knows that you're the damn devil, all right, incarnate. And everybody's going to realize that that mark that you have is a mark that you are the wicked. And that's what we're starting to realize. It's starting to match the mark that you got going back into the garden with the wickedness that you perpetuated on the earth. Right? So now that we've established that this is something that's hereditary as well. Now this is what this damn devil, all right, Gerard Hansen, he tried to say that this is leprosy. Okay? He basically tried to change it up, all right? Other symptoms, put them together, and basically called that all those range of symptoms as leprosy, when it's clearly not in the scriptures. Okay? When you look at the different pictures of what they deem as leprosy today, you can tell that these people that have what they deem as leprosy or being a leper, that they basically lack all kinds of ability, all right, which is basically this so-called Hansen's disease, all right, to do anything. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because we're gonna, when we get into later on, all right, in the lesson, just going over a person that was in the scriptures that was known as a leper, okay? You see the different pictures, of course, you know, with the deformed hands, basically being crippled, you know, all kinds of different ailments that deals with nerve damage and things like that. It basically saying that that's leprosy. That's just completely off. That's the reason why now when you say that the so-called white man's a leper, they're now able to dodge that because the World Health Organization took away that term. These damn devils took away that term from having its true meaning. So now when people go and they read the Bible, they think a leper is something else. They don't realize a leper is someone that lacks pigmentation in both their hair, their eyes, okay, their skin. They don't realize that. Right? So now going, you know, a little bit further, you know, this is just basically what this really is. Being a leper is what you would really term as an albino, okay? Because the word albino, now if you notice, when you go into the scriptures, when you read it in the King James Version, it talks about how the leprosy turns them white, all right? Now, it's fitting that the word albinism, all right, comes from the Latin word albus, which means white, okay? Now, when you read it, it says in congenital disorder characterized by a complete or partial absence of pigmentation in the skin, hair, and eyes due to absence or defect of the tyrosinase, a copper-containing enzyme involved in the production of melanin. Okay? So this is basically when you go through the scriptures, it goes over the leprosy of the skin, all right, and of the hair. All right, basically it tells you complete or partial absence of pigmentation. And that's what you devils have. This is what albinism is. That's the reason why the Most High had to put it in there, so when our people saw it, if somebody was born amongst our people or basically turned leprous, we'd basically be able to know how to handle it and deal with it, to quarantine those people off, because they're contagious. They bring certain things that comes with that leprosy, okay? That's why when you look at things like what happened, that can happen at any point in someone's life, okay? Just like it happened with Michael Jackson. There's accounts that Michael Jackson, there's different pictures that show like his hands turning leprous, all right, as he started getting older. And that's something that can happen to someone even after they're born. You don't have to be born with it. You can be born with the condition, or you can get it later on in life. And the Most High goes into that in Leviticus, the 13th chapter, and how to handle that, okay? So you can get leprosy at an older age. the Most High could smote someone with leprosy and then have that leprosy cleave to their descendants as well. And that's what happened with Cain, okay? And it's also happened to other men in the Bible, which we're going to get into an example as well. All right, so this is what really leprosy looks like. All right, it looks like a so-called white man, okay? So kind of going into this, just as an example, it's going to be basically, going to read this little paragraph right here from Babylon to Timbuktu. This is This is basically page 25. It basically goes into Naaman. All right. So it says Naaman and Gehazi had leprosy. He says, I will write a summary of this story. Naaman was the captain of the Syrian army. He acquired leprosy, boils, and whitening of the skin. Okay. So those boils comes from basically being outside. Right, because he was in the army and they didn't have sunscreen back then, right? So if he went to war and fought, and he was out there in the sun, right? And this is in the Middle East, you already know what happened to his skin because he had that leprosy. He lacked pigmentation. Okay, so boils and whitening of the skin. He wanted to be cured, so he didn't even want to be a so-called white man. He didn't want to look like you devils. All right. He wanted to look like everybody else on the planet. He wanted to have that melanin, okay? And we're going to go into the excerpt of it, going into the scriptures as well, to show you that he really wanted this. But if you go further down, it says, then he heard about Elisha the prophet. Elisha told him to dip 7 times in the Jordan River. Naaman obeyed and he was cured, all right? So when he dipped himself in the Jordan River and he came out as Elisha told him, he got his pigmentation. A reward was offered Elisha, but he refused it. A servant of Elisha named Gehazi wanted the reward that his master Elisha refused. Then Gehazi ran to look for Naaman. When he found him, he asked him for the reward and said that his master had sent him. This, of course, was a lie. When Gehazi returned to Elisha, Elisha said, I know you have gotten garments, olive yards, and all kinds of wealth by means of subterfuge. Therefore, the leprosy that Naaman had will cleave unto you and unto your seed descendants forever. All right, so Elisha put a curse of leprosy on Gehazi, all right, and had him turn into a so-called white man, and that curse was going to stick to his seed, showing you that the Most High can put leprosy on someone and it could go down into their descendants. Right? And he says, and he departed from his presence a leper as white as snow, albinus, basically like an albino, a so-called white man. Okay? This type of leprosy affected the reproductive organs, genes, and chromosomes that determine hereditary characteristics, right? Such as you damn devils that we see over here now. All right? That cleave, that is in your genetic, that's in your DNA. Okay, in his body. This meant all his children would produce white offspring, even though he was a black man at first. This was the curse of Gehazi, all right, which is also similar to the curse of Esau, all right, the curse, the mark of Cain, all right, the lack of pigmentation. That's the reason why even till today, you got certain people that in the Middle East that will have that lighter skin, but some of them actually don't even go back to so-called white people. They could go back to even Gehazi. It could, you even got certain people, all right, that were cursed with that, as well. That line, there's going to be certain people among their line that's going to pop out with that leprosy every once in a while. You see that a lot of times, especially amongst Jake of the Southern Kingdom. You'll see certain people, their family will have someone pop out with that leprosy. Okay? And that's why the Most High put the law of how to handle when certain things happen that causes them to be unclean. If they get those different balls in their skin, basically if their skin starts peeling and things like that, and how to handle it. Okay? So kind of just going into the account. 2 Kings, the 5th chapter. It says, now Naaman, captain of the host of the king of Syria, was a great man with his master and honorable, because by him Yahweh had given deliverance unto Syria. he was also a mighty man in valor. So this was a mighty man, all right? He was a warrior. Naaman was a warrior. He was a known warrior during that time. People knew about him, all right? He had a known name. He was a made man, okay? Now look at this. But he was a leper, all right? So he looked like a so-called white man. So that was the fault that he had. He's like, here he is, he's a mighty man, right? He has a name amongst all the people over there in Syria, right? In Israel, everybody knew about him being a mighty man, all right? But guess what? He was a leper, and that was a shame to him, all right? To be a leper, to look like the so-called white man, all right? So we already went into the account, all right, about basically what happened. I don't want to kind of prolong this lesson too much, but basically it's just showing you just how, much of exposure that you devils, it just shows you that you are a leprous nation, right? You're a nation of lepers. There's going to be, just like you say that there's lepers, they have these leper colonies, which y'all call them lepers, which they're really not, all right? We're going to basically have a colony for you. We're just going to have an area sectioned off for you damn devils, just to be away from in the kingdom. Y'all going to have to be sectioned off and quarantined in a whole different spot, okay? All right, so kind of just going further into that word, wanted to kind of break down that word, malign, all right? Because when you go into leprosy, all right, when you go into that word leprosy, the definition, all right, of it is beautiful in the blue letter. It says, in people, a malignant skin disease, okay? Now, we're going to go into the word malignant, okay? Just to kind of put the final blow on you damn devils, all right? 1560s in reference to diseases from reference to diseases from Middle French malignant and directly from late Latin, all right? Malignatum, all right? And it says here, acting from malice, present participle, malignare, injure maliciously, malign, earlier in the church, malignant, followers of the Antichrist, all right? And so who's the main, who's the Antichrist? There is actually a nation, the whole entire nation is the Antichrist, all right? Which is anti-Yahushua, which is you so-called white people, all right? That's why you got that malignant skin disease, right? That leprosy. It is a mark that y'all are the head followers of this. Y'all are against Yahushua. That's the reason why you devils went completely opposed against him in every single way. You set up an actual empire that is set up completely against the word, all right? And the word made flesh is Yahushua, showing you that you're the Antichrist. You're the one who opposes and exalted yourself against the Most High. You are those people. And it's being made known that you are the Satan incarnate. You are actually the children of Satan. Okay? We go into the word malign now, okay? Because this perfectly describes you damn devils. All right? Early 14th century, from Old French maligne, having an evil nature. So that leprosy is a mark of a people that have an evil nature. That's the reason why it's written that y'all are the border of wickedness. Y'all are known as the wicked in the scriptures. You are known as the evil twin brother of Jacob, the progenitor of the Israelites. Let's go further. From Latin, malignus, wicked, bad nature. That describes you damn devils. You're wicked, you're bad natured. So wicked that you actually pollute the earth that you're supposed to live on. So wicked that you actually put human flesh DNA inside meat. So wicked that you actually genetically modify foods, crops, vegetables. You've increased cancer. Cancer's rampant on the earth. Obesity. A low state of life is on this planet because of you devils. And that mark has been identified of who you are. That's why the Most High smote you as a nation of lepers. And go further into it, all right? Malign, to slander. Y'all are slanderous people. You slander thine own mother's son. You're those people. You're a slanderous people. You talk about our people saying that we're wicked. You get on Jake for robbing a corner store when he's poor, but you, while being rich, you rob the four corners of the earth. That's what you do. To plot, to contrive, that's all you do. You plot and contrive and scheme on our people. You plot and contrive and scheme on all the nations of the earth. You're the damn devil. You are in the spirit of your father. Just like in the book of Job, when Satan was going around, he was plotting and scheming over who he could destroy. You come in that same spirit. You're the damn devil. You got to deal with it. You have leprosy. You are a nation of lepers. You're going into slavery. And after that, you're getting exterminated. No one wants to see your ugly leprous asses no more. And we can't wait for you to be exterminated. To plot, to deceive. You're a deceiver. You deceive the whole world. You deceive with your words. You go and you change the definition of words. You deceive the whole world into believing that the Most High and His Son are lepers, that the angels are lepers, that the disciples, the apostles, the followers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that they are you. You devils have a lot to pay for deceiving the whole earth. That's the reason why the kingdom is going to be taken from you violently. And look at this, a pervert. Just like it's written about Esau, all right? A fornicator, an immoral man. That describes you devils. You look at so-called gay marriage, everywhere where you devils rule, you bring that wickedness. You're the only people on the planet that actually promote sodomy. You're the only people. No one else is doing it. You're the main people that push that. You're the one who actually has in your own countries, you actually have gay marriage in all of them. Every single last one of them you control, you have gay marriage there. Why is that? Because you're perverts. You're pedophiles. You're into bestiality. You go into some of these Scandinavian countries, they actually marry their own animals. It's actually legal to have sex with dogs, horses, all kinds of animals. You devils should be put to death, but you promote this stuff. You're the one who controls all these different pedophile rings. You have your boy man lovers. That's what you do. You have set up the Roman Catholic Church. You take little boys and you pop them. You're the ones that do this. It's you damn devils. You're a perverted nation, all right? You're a nation of deceivers, a nation of slanderers. You're evil, wicked, bad-natured, and you got to get put to death. And that's according to the scriptures. Thus said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So again, you are lepers. Deal with it. We're going to have your asses. We're going to turn up the heat on you damn devils when you're out there working them fields. And you're going to burn up, all right? You're going to burn up like the pig-colored skin, smelling like bacon. You are. So, you see here, you've been exposed again. You so-called white people, you have the mark of Cain, which was later passed on to your forefather Esau. You're going into slavery and you're getting exterminated.